want to ask about your plot
I have
line.
so many questions for
Is,
you too.
um, hey, maybe when I'm ready for beta readers, I'll reach out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'd love that.
Because I really love villains
Yeah,
in
me too.
movies, and I I seem to have a penchant for loving villains that I can really like grab onto their idea, that I understand what they're doing, maybe not their tactics. And I just
Yeah.
finished watching the Batman trilogy again,
Oh,
the Nolan one, and so
the Christopher. Oh,
yeah, I didn't
I
even
love
mean
his
to. Like, I
Batman.
just sat down one night, and 3 days later, there goes those three movies. So,
Yeah.
the Joker one is obviously that's chaos, and why that villain is so important, because he doesn't
Yeah.
have a purpose. He just wants to see things burn. He just wants to create chaos. And he wants to play this
Yeah.
game with Batman, who he feels is the only person that is similar to him in this world. Whereas
Hmm.
Bane, a friend of mine. Sorry, and you said you've seen the three films, right?
I have. I
Okay.
have. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Bane, his idea was that like these really rich people are living, too high off the hog. There's too much excess, and we need to take from them to start giving to the rest of the city that is essentially starving and in poverty and things like that. And
Hmm.
my friend
Hmm.
and I joked that we're like, I think Bane's the good guy in this movie. Like, why is Batman fighting the good guy here? Because
Yeah.
the idea of this of that like living in excess and having no respect for the rest of the population is a real thing that I think we deal with in real life. So I'd love to hear about
Hmm.
like how you crafted the motivation for your villain.
Well, oh my gosh, that's another great question. I love how you frame these questions. I think when writing characters, it's very important to ensure that like no villain is a villain in their own mind, you know. And
Cool.
to your point, the motivation is extremely important and is what drives that character. And so ensuring that that motivation is very pronounced and present so that, to your point, the reader knows exactly why they're doing what they're doing is really critical. And so for Wolf, I would say his motivation throughout the whole story becomes very challenged. And that's where the friction and tension comes in for his character. And it becomes challenged by Flynn, this other character. And so even though it's a page turner, even though there's a lot of action, I would say like the whole core behind my novel is his motivation being challenged in a way. And he is very much like a Bane character where he feels very wronged by society. And so he's very motivated to right that wrong, and that society is very selfish and greedy because he experienced that firsthand. He bounced around from foster home until he was essentially punted to this reform
Hmm.
center. And so he was abandoned his whole life, or so in his mind. We continue to find out more about Wolf and more about his backstory in this into the second novel. And so the motivation behind the entire organization of Reds is to create a new order. So to essentially, they're what we would equate the into our society like now probably anarchists,
Okay.
where they want to take down the government and basically create a new order that is where power is more evenly distributed. And a lot of that is very much influenced by the corruption in the political system, and the I'm going to use your word, the disparateness, is that even a word, between
I definitely can't
classes,
pronounce it.
you know.
Yeah.
The separation between classes. And so that pretty much is his motivation, is to burn that. So like kind of like a mixture between Joker and Bane, where he wants to watch society as it was burn to create a new order that they are the head of, and that is more quote unquote fair in their mind.
Right.
And he fully believes in it, and he fully believes that that's the best way to. He fully believes that's the best way that they our society should be in this new world that they're creating, and through their own propaganda and through their own
Oh my
mantra.